Hello everyone, so yeah, I'm doing another one of these videos where I analyze my games that I have already made and I talk about how I made them. So before I start, I want to talk about Eli, who made all of the art for this game. So if you like any of the art that you see here on screen, then please take a look in the description, because he's making a very cool platformer on his own channel. So please check him out and maybe subscribe. Would mean the world to him. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Now let's get right into it. When the theme was announced, I at first was a little bit confused because I did not know what to do. The theme was Keep It Alive, and I, for the first time, did not have any ideas right away. So I talked to Eli the next morning. So we had several ideas, but in the end we landed on a tower defense game where you protect a plant from getting eaten by bugs using the only logical thing: guns. I didn't just want to make a generic tower defense game because that's kind of boring. So instead I added a little thing to make it stand out a bit more, and that is that you do not point and click at like all of those towers that are on screen to like upgrade, move or sell the towers. No, you are a player in the scene that can move around, and to move a tower or sell a tower you need to get close to it, and then a little menu pops up where you can do all of that. I thought this idea would make the game a lot more engaging and a lot more fun. Now came the fun part: programming. Everyone loves programming. Programming this game was a little bit of hell, because every little thing I did was pretty much spaghetti code. Every line of this game is spaghetti. First of all, I needed to make a path following system for the enemies, because they needed to follow a little path. And the way I did that is I had a raycasting system where I had the enemy shoot out rays, one to the right, one downwards, one to the left and one upwards. And then if one of those raycasts hits something and it's not the direction where the enemy came from, then the enemy will rotate towards that point, and then after that move to that point. And when he's done that, he will raycast again and do the entire process again, and that way he can follow an entire path from start to the flower. So that portion was done. Then I needed to have a way to defend your plant, because you need to keep it alive, of course. What I came up with is turrets. Like every tower defense game, it needs some turrets. But of course turrets need to shoot, and that was a little bit of a hassle to get in. So I felt like the turret wasn't really satisfying. Like when it shot, it was just a bullet flying out of it and nothing else. It didn't really have any impact. So what I did is I added a squash and stretch animation to make it look more satisfying. Look at that satisfaction. Next, I made it so that every enemy within the range of the turret would be added to a list. I don't usually work with lists because I prefer using arrays, because I've always used arrays, but in this situation I absolutely needed to use lists because I needed to insert an object at a certain position, and arrays can't do that. Arrays can only set a value at a set position. So I ended up using lists. I did have a little problem with the lists, and that was getting the length of the list. I googled what the equivalent to array.length was for lists, and they said it was list.capacity. So I used that, and turns out it wasn't. List.count gives you the list length. So I was bamboozled, and that gave me a lot of headaches. After both of these things were implemented, it was smooth sailing from there, and I just needed to add some sounds. I added the menu, a tutorial, added different types of enemies that were immune to certain towers. Also added 2 other towers, and I added difficulty scaling. Now let's get into the fun part for you, but the kind of embarrassing part for me, the bugs. 50% of this game was made 6 hours before the deadline. You can imagine that this game is a little bit rushed, so it is very, very buggy. First of all, the sprinkler turret just doesn't shoot. It doesn't shoot at all. It has a cool animation, it has everything. I'm pretty sure it even has the script still attached to it, but no, it doesn't want to work with me. Just no shooting for me. The second bug is that the difficulty scaling calculates the difficulty with the time that has passed since that you have opened the program. You can imagine what kind of bugs this creates. For example, if you are on the menus for a long time and after like 2 minutes press play, the game's going to be incredibly hard and absolutely impossible. And if you die and you press the retry button, yeah, it's just gonna be impossible. You're not gonna win. It's not. I really should have seen that coming, but at 3 AM, miraculously, you don't see simple things like that coming. There also was severe lag when there were many enemies on screen. This was because every enemy has a rigid body attached to it. To fix this lag, I would have to attach a rigid body to the turret and the bullet, but I didn't do it that way because it saves time just only adding a rigid body to the enemy. I will fix all of these bugs in a future update, maybe, hopefully, who knows. But all in all, the jam was really, really fun. It was one of my first times working together with an artist, and it went pretty well in my opinion. But it was incredibly hectic because on the second day we pretty much did nothing. So everything needed to be done the third day. So yeah, it was very hectic. But you know, that's just part of the Ludum Dare experience. Every Ludum Dare is going to be like that for me probably, because I just have no clue how to plan things in my life. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. I tried my best on this video, editing and stuff. It took a long time, so if you really enjoy it, please consider leaving a like. And before I end, I want to thank Metabulous, which is a fellow YouTuber. He has a lot more subscribers than I do, but he gave me some critique on my last video, which helped make this video a lot better, hopefully. Who knows, maybe it made it a lot worse, but I don't think so. You can subscribe to his channel right here, and if you want to subscribe to Eli, the artist that helped make this game possible, then you can also subscribe to him right here. So see you guys next time.